Good morning guys, it's currently 6 AM in the morning and right now we are headed for the hour-and-a-half drive to Geelong to the GMF Fab to put a turbo on our Datsun 280Zx. As you can tell, I'm pretty tired. I don't usually get up early, I'm not a morning person. Oh, look at that, the light went off. But it's back on now. We've got the Datsun on the back on the trailer. Decided not to drive it just in case, we don't get it finished this weekend. But the aim is to have the turbo all bolted up and the car running, so fingers crossed things go smoothly. But man, I'm just so excited. So right now it's freezing. I'm so cold. It's like 1 degree or something. But right now we're gonna make the drive. So cue the montage. You. Alrighty guys, we are down here at GMF Fab in Geelong. Damon is here currently cleaning up the shop. There's some freaking cool cars here. We got Ben Loft's S15. This thing is freaking sick. This is his drift car, believe it or not. He is the king of style. He smashes this thing a lot and then fixes it and then drifts it. Look at that, man. Loves it. He really does drive the hell out of this thing as well. Drives it in competition and drives it very well. Another S13 here that's got RB20 in it. Jaguar race car, just to give you guys a bit of a example about all the different cars that are going on here. Look at this thing, Mustang, crazy freaking thing. Damon really does do it all. Got Damon's insane E30 that we did a build breakdown on in a previous video. This thing is magnificent. Got the M20 turbo on it. Damon's done a couple of things to it since the last time we saw it. Actually completely rebuilt the motor. It's forged now and this thing is just still looking as beautiful as the day that he built it. I absolutely love it. But yes, the 280Zx is here sitting between the hoists ready for some work to be done. Look at this thing, look at the bird's nest of 1980s kind of wizardry that's going on here that needs to be deleted. This is all pretty much for emissions, so we're going to get rid of it because as much as we care about the environment, we care about performance more. How dare you! Which is mad. So first things first, on our list of things to do today, we're going to take the bonnet off and remove a whole bunch of the stuff from the engine bay, including the air conditioning, the condenser and stuff at the front of the car. Hey Damon, are you excited to be working on my shit box?
It's always fun when you're here.
It is always fun when I'm here because I make him do things that he would otherwise probably usually not do. Alright, first things first, we are taking the bonnet off. Gives us a little bit more room to play with here, and also we can start sussing out where we're going to put the front mount intercooler and stuff like that. You! Well into pulling stuff out of this engine bay. We got a lot of the air conditioning stuff out. It's honestly, I've been so looking forward to this because I get to pull all of the crap out. It's just so good. So the condenser for the air conditioning is gone. All of the air conditioning lines are gone. We've removed all the fuel filter and lines at the moment because we're probably going to relocate that up here to give room for the turbo down here. And now I'm about to go ahead and pull all of this crap off. I'll label all the spark plug wires. We're going to pull those off as well, and then I'll pull the stock exhaust off. And over here is all of our turbo stuff. I'm going to run you guys through everything that we have and everything that you would need if you're going to go ahead and turbo your L28 or any motor really as well. So awesome fun. You. Boom! Our exhaust is out of the car. Look at this thing. Old crusty exhaust. Look, it did us well, so shout out to that. But I cannot wait to see what Damon does with the exhaust on this car. Underside of the car is looking still pretty nice and tidy. I'm really excited about dropping the subframes and redoing every single bush throughout this car and painting everything and making it nice, but that'll obviously be in another video to come. But everything's looking pretty good under here. We've got our MCA blue coilovers up there. Those things are gangster, but this thing is dope. exhaust is out, so now we get the car back down. Just to give you guys a quick idea of how the turbo setup is going to run. So basically, stock exhaust flange here, and we've got the stock header right here. So we'll chop that off about here, bolt that back up, and then the turbo manifold, it's stock exhaust manifold. This is going to run straight down under here, up here, and the turbo is going to mount on this side of the engine. It's going to be pretty strange, but I've seen it done before. It's a very cool setup, and it just makes use of the stock turbo manifold, but also gets the turbo away from this side of the car and the heat from the intake manifold, because this is not a cross flow motor. Alright, so I got all the air conditioning out. Fantastic, because that stuff weighs so much, and it never actually really worked anyway, because, you know, old car stuff. So we're pretty much in the clear now to start doing this turbo manifold, and that's where Damon takes over.
Not much of a manifold, but...
Well, it's not a manifold, is it? It's kind of a...
J-pipe?
U-pipe?
U-pipe. Upsy-downsy pipe.
Yeah. So we're about to start the upsy-downsy pipe.
Reach around pipe.
Oh, the reach around.
Yeah, because it reaches around.
It does reach around. I love reach arounds, man.
And you get happy ending as well.
Yeah, that's the best actually. So we're going to go with that. We're doing the reach around pipe. So stock collector on the stock manifold, right? Chopped off nicely, and then where to go from here?
Goes down. I'll do a 45.
Yep.
And that'll go into this.
Yep.
And that'll go under here.
Yep.
And that'll go like that.
Yep.
And then that'll go
Up.
like that.
Oh yeah, nice. Hey! That's pretty much it. And then you weld a bracket on the other side, because it's going to have turbo, the weight of the turbo
Yeah,
sitting
so
on
we'll
it.
make a support of... I was looking at like one of the bolts from the starter motor or something.
Yes.
We'll find a hole in the side of the block.
And we'll put a support on the other side.
Because with the heat, like imagine if that was hot and
Yeah.
you've got the weight of the turbo, they end up sagging down.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And obviously we'll heat wrap the section that goes through the back here.
Yeah.
So there were these support like things, brackets that we unbolted from the gearbox. These chunky boys. And that gave us the clearance that we need to go directly through the back of the sump.
Because if it wasn't so low, you could have gone under those.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
It sat like here.
Yep.
But now we want to put it up in here.
Yeah.
Because
Needs to be above that at least.
otherwise, look how low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is low. Yeah. Yep. 100%. And then, so let me walk you through all the stuff we've got. Well, Damon can help as well. So we've got our Pulsar turbo. What's the specs on it?
G25 550 internally gated, 0.72 AR rehousing.
That's this here.
Yeah, so actually nice kit. Got all the internal gate stuff in there.
Love that.
V-band in, V-band out. No more T3 flanges, no more gaskets, no more bolts. Just put the V-band on and
Good to go.
good to go.
Look how beautiful these things are.
They're normally around the $1,200 mark.
And this makes it whistle, this mod right here, which
Yeah,
is pretty cool.
Any of the OG guys know about like all the T51Rs.
Yeah, that's dope. And then we've got ball bearing.
Ceramic double ball bearing.
That's crazy.
These
So
are
it's
a
gonna
good
like,
bit of kit.
yeah.
These are, like, love genuine stuff, but
Yeah.
what we do, make a power. I'd rather spend more money on engine management,
Yeah.
waste gates, other stuff like that, and save on a turbo, and then down the track upgrade turbos.
Yeah.
Rather than going to spend $3,000 on a turbo and then having a lesser engine management.
Yeah, 100%.
So-
Agreed. And also for what we're doing here, we're running this on 7 pound. I'm not gonna go crazy with it, right? So this turbo is gonna be perfect for it, but also these are actually madly hyped at the moment, the Pulsar turbos.
We've seen 300 plus kilowatts.
Yeah.
This externally gated, this turbo on
Yeah.
SR20
That's mint.
on sub 20 pound of boost.
Yeah, so we're gonna-
15 to 18 pound of boost, seeing over 300 kilowatts.
Yeah, that's mint. Like Cam Martin's running, I think 400 kilowatt on his
Yeah, I think
RB25.
G30, I think.
Yeah, bigger turbo obviously, but. And then we've got all of the kit here. So we've got all of our fittings so that we can go oil in and oil out.
And water.
Water lines as well. And then of course, so you go a T-piece, which we're gonna fit to the engine, that goes onto the oil sensor.
Yep, and then we've got a fitting that goes onto that, so that'll go.
Boom.
And then we've got some braided line.
That we make the
And that'll
line
go
with.
to a stainless fitting. I normally use stainless fittings on. Well, they had no stainless fittings for the water, so they've gone aluminium. But
Yeah.
for oil in, we've got stainless for the heat. So
Yes.
even though I've never had an issue with aluminium getting hot, but
Yeah.
always still, especially at all pressure, I like to keep them stainless.
100%.
And then we've got our return piece, our little 2-bolt barbie thing. It goes on the bottom, and then that'll bolt onto there.
Yep.
And
Done.
then we've got a bit of rubber hose and a bit of heat sheath. The only reason we went rubber was because I got this stuff yesterday, because as normally we wait for the last minute with mic stuff.
Always.
The shop only had that, but they got 700 degree rated heat wrap that we'll put just as it comes out.
Just to
on
keep
this,
it safe, yeah.
Which for this thing, there's gonna be there's no turbo manifold for it to hit. It's just an up pipe, so there's gonna be lots of room.
It's not a drift car either. I'm not pumping it. Like it's just
It
chill.
won't hold 7-pounder boost for half an hour.
Yeah, like we do on limiter.
Yeah.
And then I've got a massive bunch of intercooler piping. We've got the joiners and the clamps. This intercooler, we actually had a quick look. It's too big, so I'm trying to sort out a smaller one now, which I'm sorting out. So we're gonna, you'll see as we go along. But everything looks sweet. So yeah, fantastic. Thanks for getting this for me.
That's right, no problem.
GMF Fab, man. If you guys want Pulsar turbos, hit up GMF Fab. They can sort you out. Very, very cool. But yeah, let's keep cracking. Damon's gonna, he reckons the next half an hour, 45 minutes, we might have a turbo mounted.
Or will be tacked up mounted.
Tacked up, that's still mounted. What's good? So let's get cracking. Let's get cracking. So we've been pushing super hard all morning, and it's time to give you guys a bit of an update. We've hit a monumental point in the build already, and that's because we have the turbo mounted. So this is how it currently looks at the moment. Honestly, it's crazy. It looks so good. As you guys saw in the montage, it all come together really nice and easily actually. The reach around is what we call it, is quite a simple kind of wee task for Damon compared to a full custom manifold. So as you can see down here, comes down and around under the sump, lifts the turbo up, and on this side, Damon's currently hard at work building the dump pipe right now. I went for a little trip and picked up a new intercooler. So I ended up getting this Mishimoto intercooler, and if you can see the size difference from the other one that we had, we just decided this one was way too big. We didn't want to try and make it fit. So, and I actually found this on Marketplace, unused, brand new Mishimoto, genuine, $100. So we're getting the Marketplace steals. Usually Marketplace sucks and I hate it and it's real hard to deal with people, but we got lucky on this one.
Nice.
Any comments?
No. Mishimoto.
You're just killing it with that dump pipe?
Yeah, try and make it fit.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room, but it's just crazy that we've already got the frickin'. So this is where we have to go down here. You can't really see, but this stuff that we have to go around. But it's just crazy that the turbo's mounted already, which is like a big part of the build. So, and that's what L28 looks like when the turbo is on the other side of the motor. Looks better. Still have to get rid of a bunch of the shit here. But we're also mounting the intercooler.
Yes.
Brackets.
Got some brackets there, some 90s.
That's it.
Straight up.
That's not even rocket science. That's just.
That's it.
That's literally it. And then the intercooler.
That's it.
A couple of riv nuts, and that intercooler is mounted. So far it's coming together really nicely. And usually it's this time when I say stuff like that something pops up.
Jinxes.
That jinxes it, and it's real hard. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But stoked so far. Hell yeah. We are fitting the wraparound, what's the reach around?
The reach around.
We're fitting the reach around for the, well, now that it's all been welded up.
Yeah, we've still got to make a couple of brackets and put gaskets in them.
Oh yeah. So this isn't the last time it's going to be fitted, but it's being fitted fully welded, which is like freaking sick. Look how snug it fits. That's ridiculous.
Alright, drop it down, put turbo on.
Alright, so this is how it all looks underneath.
I was going to make a couple of brackets because we don't want all the weight of the turbo hanging off this flange.
That's
So
exactly
we'll make
right.
a couple of brackets that hold it up so that when it gets hot it doesn't sag.
Yep, and also this will be heat wrapped for all you guys that were about to jump in the comments and say how it's going to heat up the sump and stuff like that.
Oh definitely, it's going to hurt the sun. But where else do you put it?
No, it's good. I think it's awesome. Heaps of people, well, a couple of people in America run them like this and have absolutely zero issues. So this is where it goes up. Look at that. The clearance is freaking sick. Come up round and boom. straight up to the stock manifold. Damon executed it absolutely perfectly. So now we're gonna mount up the turbo. Look at that, look at the little nugget, it's like sticking up there. The little nug.
Turbo charger on my 280Zx, is that it? Yeah, no.
Where are my drinks? Is that mounted?
That's, oh, it's finger tight.
I love it when it's finger tight. Look at that. We already saw it like this, but still, now it's mounted fully welded, so it's special. And it also has a front mount intercooler there, so now it's like, you can see it coming together, guys. Come on. Oh, I didn't even show you guys the stripped down frickin', it's starting to look like an intake manifold now. Still got some, obviously a lot to do, but so got to blank all these stuff off and remove a little bit more, and we're going to simplify the fuel rail as well. Are you happy?
Yes,
You did good work.
As long as Mike's happy.
Oh, I'm happy as Larry. You know me.
Who's Larry?
I could have gas migged it and used pipe that I had lying around. I'd still be happy. So you can say that I'm extremely happy with your work. All right. So now that all that's fitted, we're now starting to mock up the intercooler piping. So we've just got a box of intercooler piping. That's all universal random stuff, and we're starting to mock it up. So it's going to look rad. We've got to cut some stuff out just of the front end here, just so we can have the 90s coming off the intercooler. And then it's very simple, nice short intercooler piping, which is nice. Straight to there, good to go, son. We're gonna wrap it up there for the night, guys. We're gonna chill out, enjoy the night, have a drink or two, because I don't really get to see Damon much, because he's here in Geelong. But tomorrow, we're gonna tackle the intercooler piping. As you can see, we've already started to give it a red hot crack. And the aim is to have this thing started by the end of the video, which would be really nice. And then I've got to leave the car with Damon, and he's obviously going to continue to tackle the exhaust and stuff, but he'll continue videoing as he does that, which is cool. He's got a GoPro, so that'll be sweet. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Bye.
Hey guys,
Hi.
it's Mike Lake here.
Somehow we survived last night, no thanks to Damon. Yep. And we're back working on the L28 turbo. So the aim for today, because I need to take the car home to get it out of Damon's shop, because it's taking up space and I'm not really that good of a paying customer, is to get this thing able to be started and run to put on the trailer. Which is pretty exciting, because that means that we should be able to hear it make some kind of turbo noise. It won't have the full exhaust on it, it'll just have this little dump pipe that we have tacked up here that kind of just slips onto the back of the turbo, like so. But as it sits, that's all good. That's what we're going to go with, which is rad. So right now what we're doing is piecing together the intercooler piping. So I'm going to go ahead, chop some stuff up, and we just need to make some beautiful holes through here. There's already one here, but we'll just make sure that it's nice and big enough for what we need. Yeah, very uncomplicated, which is exactly how I like things to be. So awesome.
Screw the bit of wood. You have nowhere to put the drill bit. Screw a bit of wood behind it so that your pilot drill goes into the wood. So you can cut as little or as much.
That's so good. And that's the tidy hole that we have, which is much better than an angle grinder.
Yeah.
Nice. Alright, so I've been working on that intercooler piping. Super chill, as you can see. Damon's done a fantastic job as per usual. Very basic. This setup so far, we've been saying, has been one of the more simple turbo setups that we've had to do, in terms of everything just being where we need it to be, and really the ease of the whole setup. But man, I still can't get over just how cool all that looks. But a couple of things to still block off on the inlet manifold. 1-2 holes. This hole here, but other than that, I've managed to kind of cap everything else off pretty nicely. What I will be doing is taking that off and cleaning it all up at some point. But now we're doing the inlet side intercooler piping. Look at the size of that throttle body, it's so tiny. Literally, like it actually cracks me up. It's probably hard to tell on camera, but it's really small. So we will upgrade that at some point. But yeah, so intercooler piping, and then we're going to do the oil lines. And then once that's done, for now, we've decided, just for fun, we're going to run the dump pipe America style, straight up, baby, until we get an exhaust done. Obviously I'm not going to be driving the car, it's just going to be sitting there. But yeah, awesome progress, really cool. So yeah, we're just going to keep on pushing on. As you can hear, Damon is welding in the background, and right now I am extending the airflow meter wires, because the airflow meter no longer lives over this side of the engine. It needs to be over that side of the engine. We're going to get rid of it eventually when we put a ECU in this thing. We're going to put like a Haltech or something in it. But for now, we're going to extend that. Easiest way to do it with trailer wiring, because it has 5 wires in it, or 6 actually. That's already one nice wire, so pretty easy to do. So we're going to get that done now. Car's back up in the air. Damon is welding a bracket just to basically strengthen up this whole pipe, so that not all of that weight has just been taken by the flange on this side. So that'll take care of that. I'm going to drill and tap our fitting for the oil return into the sump. But at a later date, when we do have it back at the shop, I'm actually going to take the sump off and do it all properly. But for now, drilling and tapping will be perfectly fine just to get the car running. There's our return done for now. For all you people who want to jump in the comments and be like, no, you shouldn't do it like that. It's temporary, but at the same time, it could be permanent. It's perfect. No worries. So here is our final manifold. The reach around, as they call it. Look at that. It is an absolute work of art. You know, this is what Damon calls a rushed job, and it looks so freaking good to me. So utilizing the stock flange, the rusty stock flange, I made him weld to it, and it just come up so good. Got the bracket here so that it braces it all, takes some of the weight off the flange, which is nice. But just in general, it's just a beautiful piece of work. Obviously this whole thing will be heat wrapped, so that obviously it keeps the heat away from the oil and the sump and all that stuff. But for now, we're bolting it up as it is to get it all running. Yeah, and like I said, when I take it home, we'll be taking it apart. I'm gonna drop the subframe and everything. I'm gonna paint stuff, take the sump off, do the oil drain properly, and a bunch of other stuff. So, you know, lots of work to be done, but right now we're putting it all together because we want to start this thing. I'm so pumped on it, so let's freaking do it. All right, turbo's bolted on for the final time before starting, which is super nice. Damon has clocked the turbo so that our fittings are all facing the right way, which is good. Oh, do we put the oil drain fitting on the turbo first?
No, I've still got to pull the turbo off to finish tightening all the bolts off.
Ah.
All these ones are on the front.
All right, so that's not the last time. So we're making an oil feed line. So down here, we've got our T-piece where the oil pressure sensor would be. Now, we'll have the oil pressure sensor bolted onto the back of that T-piece, but we couldn't get this oil filter off without breaking the oil filter or wrecking the oil filter, and we don't have one to put on right now fresh. So, and we really want to start the car. So we've blocked the back part of the T off for now, and we'll just have the oil send running to the turbo. But when I get a fresh oil filter and stuff, I'll take this all apart, do what I need to do, put it all back together and have the oil pressure sensor on it. But we're good for that. So final checks being done before we throw this whole thing back together. Here is the airflow meter wiring with the trailer wiring done. So now it comes out over this side so that we can plug it in. And Damon's just doing final checks, which is sick. Slowly coming together. About half an hour, 45 minutes, and we'll be starting this thing.
Yeah, outside piece on, always put that on first. So you get to put that on when you put this on. You can't get it on.
I've done stuff like that so many times.
And then the little olive like goes, gotta make sure that you don't get any of the braid
inside it,
because that's got to go between.
Oh yeah, like squeezes in between the braid and the plastic stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Make sure that if you look on, it's probably hard to see on the inside, but make sure that the plastic goes all the way to the end. There's like
nice.
There's like a little step
that it slips onto.
Yeah, push all the way up into it, and then make sure that's all nice. I normally get a drill bit that's the right size. Don't use the drill end, use the other end. Just poke it in, make sure it's all the right size, rather than using the fitting in case it's not right and then you damage your fitting. So
yeah.
You just use it as like a clean it out. Then that will push all the way in.
No way. And then that just goes up.
Screw it on.
Boom. Custom line aeroflow fitting on this side.
And then I've got my little vise here.
How come you're using that fitting on that side? Is that because of the turbo?
Yes.
More heat?
Yes, it's stainless fittings on the turbo where you can.
Yeah.
Especially on everything I do that's oil pressure, because you lose oil pressure, the engine loses oil pressure. So water, if you lose water, it's probably, it's not great, but stainless will hold heaps more heat because they're actually aluminium.
Yep.
So
perfect length braided line for our oil send. So good. And the oil return's pretty much done. We just need to literally put the fitting on the turbo, cut the rubber to the right size.
Put some heat wrap on it.
Yep. It's nuts, man. So good. So this car rolled in here yesterday morning, NA, and now we have a complete turbo setup. Shout out America for the dump pipe. Lots of things that need tidying up, obviously, but we've just got it the way that it is so that we can do the first start, and Damon's going to do the honours. We've literally not started it. I've got the jumper pack hooked up, so... Oh, we have fuel pump. Might need some throttle. Fucking hell. Oh my god, it runs.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with the airflow meter?
Oh, because it's got now it's drawing so much more air, I was holding resistance on it.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll add less fuel.
Yeah, right.
Because
I'll tighten the spring up.
Yeah, we can tighten the spring up and that'll do, I was pretty much just holding resistance on it.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
That's why it cleared up when it did that.
Crazy. How good's that? It sounds turbo. That's nuts, man. As it sits, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. It's a turbo L28 in under 24 hours, I think.
Oh, well, considering we got in the cans.
Yeah, that always throws things up a little bit.
bit.
It slowed us down a little bit today, I've got to say. In the best way possible. Man, the whole setup looks really good, man. Like, the engine looks like shit, but that's because it's old and crusty.
It worked with whatever we had.
Yeah,
some
100%.
random intercooler piping kit.
Yeah.
Some random intercooler.
Are you happy
We're
though?
talking about the whole budget build.
Yeah.
The turbo, some lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used stainless for the reach around pipe.
Yeah.
Could have used mild steel.
Reach around.
Like, really, what's a $150 intercooler kit?
Yep.
$1,000 turbo, or $1,300 turbo. Some fittings, some lines, probably $200 in steel. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, we're going to do a full exhaust that I'll pay Damon to do, obviously. But I reckon, like, I don't know, we're going to be somewhere around the $4,000 mark for this thing being turboed. Obviously not tuned. We'll do a fuel rig tune first on Damon's dad's dyno just to see how that goes, and then we'll put an ECU in it and do that tune. Then we can kind of suss out and see the difference between the two. But man, so good. Turbo's never cheap, but you can do it cheap-ish.
Yeah, you do it yourself, just save a lot of money. If you had the resources to do your own fab work and you bought a cheaper turbo, you
Yeah.
could do this for $2,000.
Yeah, you could.
With a fuel pressure reg, buy a wideband gauge, do a street tune. Like right then, we were just playing with the airflow meter and
Yeah.
making it run a lot better.
Yeah, it already runs cracker.
Yeah, without even putting a fuel pressure reg on it. That's just standard fuel pressure regulator.
And now we've got to put it on the trailer, so of course we get to see a little pool on the street.
Yes.
Nothing crazy.
I reckon it'll break up pretty quick, but we'll...
Jeez. Oh man, it's so good. I'm just stoked. I can't believe it's running. It's actually nuts. So. have it, guys. Couple of pulls. Obviously, it was a bit dicky when we were driving it, but that's because it's a car that we've literally put a turbo on. Also, the distributor on them, you got to lock them out, otherwise the vacuum advance kind of makes it a bit...
Because they're meant to see vacuum, then when you see boost pressure, the Dizzy just works the wrong way.
Yeah. So
it's probably a technical way to say it. But.
As soon as it sees boost, it starts mucking things up, so you got to lock them out, and then you actually manually retard the timing a little bit for boost. But also, of course, we literally just put a turbo onto a car that never had a turbo before. So, of course, there's going to be, wee issues to start off with, but I'm super stoked. Sounds mint. We've got a couple of wee pulls in there where you can hear the turbo starting to work. Also, probably a good thing it didn't work to its full potential, because I would have probably given it crap and then blown the engine up.
No wastegate line.
Yeah, true. So, yeah, all of the above. But massive thanks to Damon, GMF Fab. If you guys are in Melbourne, you need any fab work done, send it out here. He'll hook you up. He's done a bunch of subscribers' work already, so you know it's good. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Obviously, next video, we're going to do more things. 2-week gap now in between Datsun videos because we've got drift competitions back to back for the next couple of weekends in the E36. Trying to egg Damon on to bring his E30 out to Vic Drift practice day as well, so see how we go with that. But
don't have enough time. Too busy building Datsuns that come in on weekends when I should be working on my car.
Yeah, man, I've got Datsun in my hair. But thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. It's been awesome. Huge shout out, Damon. Good times.
See ya.
Very, very stoked. See you guys. Peace. Bye.